Hey football fans! Today we're bringing you the first part of our video on underrated NFL champs. Don't want to miss part 2? Then subscribe to our channel Go to Football. For Arizona Cardinals, we can talk about Luis Sharp. He dedicated his entire career to the Cardinals, and his impact unfortunately went unnoticed because the team wasn't competitive at the time and was one of the worst in the NFL. Sharp played with the Cardinals from 1982 to 1994, earning 3 Pro Bowl selections and being included once in the second-team All-Pro. Well, for Atlanta Falcons, we can't forget about Mike Ken. Just like Sharp, Ken spent his entire career with the Falcons, 17 years from 1978 to 1994. Let me tell you about Chris McAlister, the forgotten champion of the Baltimore Ravens. It was quite difficult to stand out in a defense that included champions like Rod Woodson and the great Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and Terrell Suggs. But McAlister was certainly one of the best cornerbacks in the league during his time. For the Buffalo Bills, we can't forget about Joe Ferguson. The quarterback played for the Bills from 1973 to 1984, and thanks to his contribution during the 1977 season, the Bills were the best passing team in the league. For the Carolina Panthers, we have to talk about Muhammad. Regardless of which quarterback threw him the ball, Muhammad was the great certainty to catch it. With 3 Pro Bowl appearances, he helped the Panthers reach the NFC Final in 1996, 2003, and 2005. The Chicago Bears. It's hard not to remember a Super Bowl champion and two-time Pro Bowler defender with an impressive 95 career sacks. But alas, the bitter fate of McMichael. See, McMichael had the unlucky task of playing for the Bears when they had one of the greatest defenses of all time. His impact was overshadowed by Hall of Famers like Richard Dent, Mike Singletary, and Dan Hampton. Cincinnati Bengals. Let me tell you about Reggie Williams, their exceptional linebacker. Williams spent his entire career with the Bengals after being chosen 82nd in the 1976 draft. Despite making an impressive 63.5 sacks and 16 interceptions throughout his career, Williams never received a single Pro Bowl or All-Pro nomination. Can you believe it? Cleveland Browns and Dick Shafrath, one of the greatest snubs in the Hall of Fame of all time. Even more than half a century after his last NFL game, it still seems absurd that he's not in the Hall of Fame. Shafrath was a 7-time Pro Bowl selection and a first-team All-Pro offensive lineman. He played both tackle and guard, and was rated 5 stars as a blocker for Jim Brown. Dallas Cowboys! Have you ever heard of Ed Too Tall Jones? He's a true legend and one of the greatest players ever for the Cowboys under the guidance of the legendary coach Tom Landry. Jones was a giant at 6 feet 9 inches, and one of only 4 Cowboys to reach the milestone of 100 sacks. He was selected to the Pro Bowl 3 times and played a significant role in the Cowboys' victory in Super Bowl in the 1977 season. Rod Smith, the forgotten superstar of the Denver Broncos. Can you believe he was an undrafted player who became a great receiver and John Elway's go-to guy in the latter years of his career? Smith was a key player in winning not 1 but 2 consecutive championships for the Broncos in the 1997 and 1998 seasons. He was even selected to the Pro Bowl 3 times and had over 1,000 receiving yards in 8 of his 12 seasons in the NFL. Wayne Walker and his amazing career with the Detroit Lions. It's true that he's often overlooked, but he was truly one of a kind. Not only did he play as a linebacker, but also as a kicker for the Lions. Can you believe it? He was incredible at both positions, disrupting plays on defense and hitting devastating blows on opponents, then smoothly transitioning to kicking field goals with incredible natural skill. For Green Bay Packers, we talk about Sterling Sharp, the older brother of the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp. Good blood runs in the family, right? Unfortunately, his promising career took a tragic turn when he suffered a severe neck injury at the young age of 29, cutting his career short. But before that, he was a phenomenal player and could have been inducted into the Hall of Fame if not for the injury. In his 7 seasons in the NFL, Sharp was selected 3 times as first-team All-Pro and 5 times for the Pro Bowl. Houston Texans and their first overall pick. It's interesting to see a first overall pick like Mario Williams end up getting overshadowed by other players on the team, such as Arian Foster and Andre Johnson, and then later on J.J. Watt. Williams was the first pick in the 2006 NFL Draft, but after leaving the Texans in 2012, he played for 4 years with the Buffalo Bills and then 1 season with the Miami Dolphins in 2016 before retiring. The amazing forgotten superstar Bobby Boyd of the Indianapolis Colts. During the 60s, despite his impressive impact on the team, Boyd was overshadowed by other great players, especially quarterback Johnny Unitas. He played for only 9 seasons, and the many other stars on the team were certainly factors in his limited fame. Who do you think is the NFL superstar who deserves the most respect in history? Let us know in the comments. And remember, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the Go to Football so you don't miss the second part.